Welcome to Knowledge Power Labs.
This lab will show you how to set up and configure SecurityOnion using VirtualBox. First off, I'll briefly explain SecurityOnion. SecurityOnion is the leading open source operating system for network security monitoring, intrusion detection, log management, and threat hunting. Some of the most important tools that we'll be using throughout these lectures are Snort IDS and the useful visualization tool Squirt, which will show you all of the snort alerts that are triggered as a result of specific network traffic. For more information about SecurityOnion, search for SecurityOnion on the web, as there is an abundance of public information related to the project. The first step is to download and install VirtualBox. Instructions to do this won't be included due to its simplicity. You can download the most recent version from virtualbox.org. After you have downloaded and installed VirtualBox, download SecurityOnion from securityonion.net. Click the download link. Click to download the ISO image. Once the download of the SecurityOnion ISO is complete, open VirtualBox Manager. We're going to be installing SecurityOnion now. Click New. Name your VM. I'm naming mine SecurityOnion 2018. Change the type to Linux. Keep the version as Ubuntu 64-bit. Click Next. I'm going to be raising my RAM to about 16 gigs. If you don't have that much RAM, raise it as high as you can because SecurityOnion is a bit resource intensive. Click Next. Create virtual hard disk now. Click Create. Keep it as VDI, VirtualBox disk image. Click Next. Keep it as dynamically allocated storage. That will only fill up the hard disk as needed, which is more efficient. Click Next. I'm going to raise to about 20 gigs for storage. Click Create. Now let's make sure that we have a host-only network set up, because this will be important for the lab work. Host-only is a form of networking that is completely isolated within the host computer, having no internet connectivity. We need this so that our VMs can communicate with one another. Click File. Click Host Network Manager. As you see here, one is already set up, but if you do not have one, you'll have to create one, which is pretty simple. To do this, you can click Create. Make sure to enable the DHCP server. Click Properties. Configure adapter automatically. Go to the DHCP server tab. Everything's okay. The server is enabled. Click Apply. Now we're going to change some of the settings for the SecurityOnion VM. Right-click the SecurityOnion VM. Click Settings. Firstly, under the General tab, click Advanced. For Shared Clipboard, change it to Bidirectional. This is going to enable Shared Clipboard for convenient copying and pasting of commands. Next, we'll go to the System tab. the Processor tab. I'm going to increase the number of processors to 4 for increased performance. Next is the Storage tab. Click the empty disk under Controller IDE. Now we're going to select the ISO that we downloaded in the beginning. This should be in the Downloads folder by default. To do this, click the disk icon here. I have mine already saved in memory. Next, go to the Network tab. Click Adapter 2. Enable Network Adapter. Attach to Host Only Adapter. Make sure you have selected a name for your virtual host only Ethernet adapter. Click Advanced. Under Promiscuous mode, change it from Deny to Allow VMs. Now let's begin the installation. Please note that you will need internet connectivity. Highlight Security Onion 2018 and click Start. Press Enter or wait to boot Security Onion. Once Security Onion has booted, double-click Install Security Onion. Now select a language. I'm going to leave it as English. Click Continue. Do not select Download Updates while installing Security Onion. This may cause complications. There's a special command used to update Security Onion, which I'll go over soon. Click Continue. Erase disk and install Security Onion. Click Continue. Enter your location for time zone. Click Continue. Choose a keyboard layout. I'm leaving it as English. Choose a username and password. Click Continue. Once the installation is complete, click Restart Now. It says to remove the installation medium, but this happens automatically, so just hit Enter. When prompted, enter the username and password that you set during the installation and click Login. The first thing we'll want to do as a best practice when using VMs is to create a snapshot. This will allow us to revert our VM to this point in time if anything goes wrong with Security Onion going forward. To do this, click Machine, take Snapshot. I'm going to name it Fresh Installation. Click OK. Now for shared clipboard to work, we'll need to install guest additions. To do this, go to Devices, Insert Guest Additions CD Image, click Run, enter your password, authenticate. Once the installation has run its course, press Enter to close the window. Now we're going to reboot, so just right-click the desktop, open terminal, type in sudo reboot, enter your password. Now copy and paste should work bidirectionally to and from host and security onion. To test this, you can copy any text from your host and paste it anywhere that accepts text in security onion. For example, I have test here in Notepad on my host. I'm going to highlight that, copy. Now on security onion, I'm going to right-click the desktop, open terminal, and paste it. There we go. Now I know that copy and paste works, and we can move on to setup. Double-click Setup on the desktop, enter your password, click OK, yes, continue. Select Yes, Configure Network Interfaces. This will allow Security Onion to automatically configure them. The management interface should be your NATed interface, which in this case will be ENP0S3. Keep in mind that ENP0S8 is the host-only interface, which will be the interface Security Onion will monitor with snort, bro, elk, and full packet capture. This is also called a sniffing interface. The management interface will have internet connectivity. Click OK. Select DHCP for simplicity due to this being an isolated lab environment. Click OK. Yes, configure sniffing interfaces, as this will be a standalone installation. As explained before, ENP0S8 is the host-only interface. Click OK. Yes, make changes to go forward. Yes, reboot. After rebooting, double-click Setup again. Enter your password. Yes, continue. Yes, skip network configuration because we just did that. For our lab setup, we're going to choose evaluation mode. This will give us everything needed for completing the labs within this course, but use less computational resources. If you have a lot of RAM and processing power, you can also use production mode. But I recommend using evaluation mode if this is your first time using Security Onion. Click OK. Again, the network interface to be monitored should be ENP0S8, which is the host-only sniffing interface. Click OK. Now we're creating a user account that will allow us to authenticate into Kibana, Squirt, and Squeal, which are the visualization tools used in Security Onion to view logs and alerts. I'm going to name mine Jesse. Click OK. Now choose a password for the aforementioned account. Confirm. Yes, proceed with the changes. I'm going to click through the dialog boxes, but I suggest you read through them thoroughly, as there's some useful information. Now let's make Terminal accessible from the desktop. Right-click Desktop, open Terminal, type cd desktop, type in gedit terminal.desktop, Now I'm going to copy and paste this desktop entry. It's going to be named terminal. Here's the file path to the binary. This is just going to allow us to have a link to the terminal emulator. Save that. This code here is going to be included in a text file with this lecture. Close. Type in sudo chmod +x terminal.desktop. Enter your password. Now you can double-click to start terminal from the desktop going forward. Let's change the profile. To do this, click Edit, Profile Preferences. I'm going to name mine Jesse. Click Custom Font. I'm going to raise mine to 17. Click Select. Click Close. Now let's update Security Onion. To do this, type sudo soup. This will utilize a script that downloads only necessary packages for Security Onion and is the only way you should be updating it. Enter your password. Press Enter. Please keep in mind that in this video we will be using all of the default configurations, so when prompted, just press Enter. Once updates are complete, press Enter to reboot. Now let's go over an extremely important command for troubleshooting, which is sudo sostat. This script will perform service checks and display results to the terminal. If anything within Security Onion is not working, such as Squirt not showing alerts, this should be your first step to troubleshoot your issue. If any services show as failing, it can help you narrow down the problem at hand. For example, if you include a bad custom snort rule with incorrect syntax, the snort engine will fail. As always, if you have trouble with Security Onion or anything else related to this course, please feel free to reach out to me with a detailed and specific problem, including any errors and all information possible. Now on to the command. Open a terminal. Type in sudo sostat, and I'm going to pipe it to less. This is just going to make it easier to view it. Enter in your password. Now the most important thing to look at here is the service status section at the top. If any of these services are showing as fail, we need to run the restart command for our sensor, which I'll go over shortly. As you see here, all of the services are showing as OK. This is good, and it indicates that there are no problems with any of our services. So let's close out of less by typing Q on the keyboard. Let's go over the command to restart our sensor if we have any issues such as service failures. To do this, type in sudo nsm_sensor_ps-restart. This will restart all of the Security Onion services. Hit Enter. Pay attention to the right. If it says OK, then your service has restarted successfully. If it says fail, then you have some problems. As you can see here, all of our services are okay. The most common issue I see my students run into is that Squirt is not showing snort alerts. Again, Squirt is a visualization tool to show logs and snort alerts. The previous troubleshooting steps should always be run to ensure that services are running properly. If your issue persists, it is prudent to reboot Security Onion and perform those troubleshooting steps again. The most common causes for Squirt not showing snort alerts are bad custom rules, the squeal service failing, or the sniffing interface failing to process packets. Now let's run a quick function test to make sure that Squirt will show snort alerts. We're going to replay a PCAP with malicious traffic on it that comes with Security Onion using TCP replay. This will simply replay the packet as if it's occurring live over the wire. To locate the PCAP we'll be using, type in locate Zeus and hit enter. Now type in sudo tcp replay -L20, this will loop the command 20 times, -IENP0S8, that's the host-only interface, -T for top speed, and finally the full path for the PCAP. Now press enter. Please disregard the error messages, as the TCP replay command will still function properly. Now double-click Squirt on the desktop. Enter the username and password that you created during setup. Click Login. Now you should see alerts here indicating Zeus Trojan activity.